Hello, everyone. This is
I'm
Masu.
Masahiro Sakura.
Hi, I'm Meowth, and this is... Okay, so I bet you're wondering, who is this Filipina gorgeous ABG telling me about Professor Layton in Super Smash? Well, clearly we haven't met. I'm May. I really like, I like Zelda, I like FNAF, and I also really like Professor Layton. Here are my credentials. It's very serious with me. I win every game physically, except for Layton's Mystery Journey on the Switch, but we'll get to that later. Have it for the 3DS, don't you worry. And I really like playing Smash. I started in the era of Brawl. I really like Subspace Emissary, and I've since played Smash 4 and Ultimate in my peak. Not saying I'm old, but in my peak, COVID, I was a filthy Isabelle main, and I climbed to Elite Smash with her with the Pro rule set. Let's not get into the politics of Smash. But yes, I'm disgusting. I know how the game works because I picked a literal bottom tier character to climb with. So I know what's up. And, you know, I actually originally wrote this script and everything pertaining to my obsession with Professor Layton during the era of COVID. So, if this is super unstructured and if the drawings look like shit, it's because I did them 6 years ago. So, I'm gonna assume because you clicked on this video, you know how to play Smash. But for the sake of it, I'm just gonna go over it, break down the controls and, you know, the mechanics, just for the sake of understanding what went into my thought process for constructing the Professor's moveset from the ground up. If you don't really care, if you know how to play Smash, you can skip ahead to like here. I talk about the Professor himself, and if you don't give a shit about his backstory, I guess you can go straight to here for the actual DLC pack. But you know, it'd be super cool if you hung around and extended my viewer time. That'd be cool. Thanks! Okay, mechanical stuff. I'll read straight off my script. Smash attacks are strong attacks, either performed by pressing the A button and holding a direction. If you hold the A button, it charges up the attack and it does more damage, but then you're vulnerable for more attacks. It's pretty basic. It's usually what people use to kill in Smash Bros. Has decent range usually. Depends on character to character, but every character has smash attacks. Tilt attacks are fast, generally soft hitting moves performed by flicking the right stick in any direction, or you can hold the direction and then press A. It's some mechanical stuff, but it does less damage than the smash attack. You can't charge it up like a smash attack. It's just for like kind of getting like a little bit of chip damage or zoning kind of thing. But they come out a lot faster than smash attacks because you don't have to charge them. Special attacks are moves that are entirely unique to the characters. So say if we're thinking about like Inkling, as we know, in Splatoon uses a variety of different like paint related weapons. There's like the roller, there's like a brush, there's like a fucking washing machine. I don't know, but those are like super specific to Inkling. No one else kind of has like, they don't use paintbrushes except for Bowser Jr., I guess. So one of Inkling's special moves is to pull out the roller and literally roll over their opponents. It's very specific to their character. Special moves can be anything. Ultimates are exactly what it says on the tin. They're like final hit kind of moves that require a bit of time to charge up if you're playing with Final Smash meter, or you can break the smash ball that shows up and that will automatically give you the ultimate. Usually that's what happens. Final Smash meter was only introduced in Ultimate. They're generally big, flashy, bombastic moves that kill pretty early on. Grabs and throws. So grabs are performed by standing close proximity to a character and either pressing one of the shoulder buttons. Some grabs have range, like I believe Luigi's, he pulls out the... oh my god, what is it called? His vacuum from Luigi's Mansion, and it extends, and then, so he has range. Depends from character to character. Most of the time, you have to be like right up next to someone to grab him. But you can grab him. You can like punch them a little bit, and then if you tilt a direction, you can throw them behind you, in front of you, down or up. Pretty simple. Shields are put up by pressing either of the ZL, ZR shoulder buttons. You just put up a shield, it's a little bubble. Bubble goes down the longer you hold the shield up. If your bubble breaks, your shield breaks, and then you're completely vulnerable to any attacks. Like, you can't move, you're stunned. If you hold up the shield and you tilt a direction, you do a dodge, and that doesn't take up any of your shield bubbles, so it's a pretty versatile move. I spam the shit out of dodges. It costs me a lot of the time when I play Smash. Now that we've definitely confirmed that you know the basics of Smash, if you stuck around, now we can get into... The Professor Layton franchise is a series of games and one movie following our titular professor through fun and wacky adventures. Because this is my video and I love Professor Layton, you're gonna get a brief history of the Professor Layton franchise. As of right now, there are 9 games, 1 movie, and 1 anime, if we're counting Layton's Mystery Journey, if you really want to count it. Chronologically, the story goes as follows. It begins in Last Spectre, which came out. It's the 4th game that came out release-wise. The professor gets a letter from an old friend, Clark, explaining that something, mysterious is happening in his town, Miss Hallory. On his way there, Emmy, a student at the university the professor teaches at, basically invites herself along because she's a photographer, and she's like, I want to take photos of interesting things, and it sounds like you're on an interesting adventure. So she tags along, and after some mysterious shenanigans uncovering what the giant creature was that was terrorizing Miss Hallory, and after teaming up with Clark's 10-year-old son Luke, they find out that the culprit is this fucking theater kid mecha building freak named John Descalay. He's very important. They also uncover this super ancient cave underneath the town called the Golden Garden. And then that's where the game ends. Luke and Emmy become, like, part of the professor's team from here on out. Following Last Spectre, chronologically, is the movie. Don't need to go too deep into it. It's a really good movie. It's called Eternal Diva. You can literally watch it for free on YouTube. I highly recommend it. I think it's like an hour and 30. It's super quick. It's just a fun, whimsical time. But here, he gets invited, the professor, Emmy, and Luke, they get invited to this fancy opera, and one of the professor's old students named Janice is starring in it, and she invited him. And when they get there, they watch the opera. It's all great and fun. And then the fucking opera house detaches from land and turns into a ship, and it sails away. Like, you can't make this ship. It sails away. It takes them to this island known as Ambrosia, which is what the opera was about. And then they have to, like, awaken Ambrosia, and also Jean Descalay's there with an even bigger fucking mech. And the professor solves the mystery, and he awakens Ambrosia. The end. And Jean Descalay gets away, as per usual. So after the Eternal Diva, the Professor, Luke, and Emmy make it their way to the city of Montedor after receiving yet another letter from, you guessed it, another old friend, Angela Lador. She's asking him to help uncover who the masked gentleman is, this, like, mysterious guy who's been terrorizing Montedor. In Miracle Mask, the professor really confronts his past. Angela Lador is fake married to Henry Lador. We'll get into it in like 2 minutes. They were both friends with the professor in high school, as well as a boy named Randall Ascot. In their teenage years, Hershel is revealed to have had an afro? Hershel is revealed to have accidentally killed his best friend Randall during a very reckless adventure into the nearby ruins in search of archaeological discoveries. In fact, the professor, Hershel, wasn't super interested in archaeology, which is what he teaches in university now at the time. It was his friend Randall that was super into archaeology, and Randall convinced Hershel to go on this expedition with him. They're fucking teenagers, by the way, mind you, and that does cost Randall his life. And Hershel does feel guilty about it, obviously. But, you know, like 20 or 30 years later, the events of Miracle Mask happen, and the masked gentleman is revealed to be, oh my god, it's Randall Ascot. He didn't die from the fall. But also don't worry, Descalay is here. Don't you worry. So, the end of Miracle Mask, there's this beautiful moment at the end of the game where Hershel finds himself holding onto Randall over a pit, the same way that he was 20, 30 years ago when Randall died. Well, presumably died. And at this point, Randall is ready to actually die, but with the help of his other friends, Henry and this other guy, I think his name was Alphonse, I don't remember, but they were all friends in high school. They all help Hershel pull Randall up, and it's a very sweet moment. It's very cute. It's a very good game. You should play the games. Aside from the mushy friendship shit, they also discover in the ruins of Aquadine, that was where Randall took Hershel in their teenage years, they found this other great archaeological discovery called the Nautilus Chamber. And now all of these 3 things from the past games and movies that I've discussed, the Golden Garden, the Sleeping City of Ambrosia, and the Nautilus Chamber were all built by this ancient civilization called the Azaran, which leads us into the final game that came out, Azaran Legacy. So in the beginning of Azaran Legacy, the professor meets up with this other archaeology professor named Desmond Sycamore, so Professor Sycamore. He has a butler who suspiciously looks like Descale's butler. Oh, I wonder who Sycamore is. And they find this girl encased in ice. She is Azaran. The Azaran encased her in the ice, cryogenically froze her to deliver a message to the people of the future. The events of Azaran Legacy don't matter that much. I'm not going to get into it. Just play the game if you're that interested. But I need you, I'm about to spoil, everything that the Professor Layton series has led up to. So if you don't want to hear it, skip ahead. Skip here. I don't know. I'll put it in post. If you're going to stay, I need you to brace yourself. This is fucking insane. So, Emmy turns out to have been evil. She was working for this evil organization called Targent that have been following the professor and Descale this entire time. Okay? Professor Sycamore turns out to be Descale. Surprise, surprise. But Descale turns out to be the professor's brother. And secondly, it turns out that Descale's real name is actually Hershel, and Hershel's name was Theodore. And then they were orphans, right? And the Layton family were looking to adopt a kid, but they only wanted one. First of all, why the fuck? If you want one, you're looking at a pair of brothers. What is your problem? Secondly, Descale, being the good brother that he was, the Laytons wanted Hershel. So Descale gave his brother his name so that Hershel could live with a family and have a normal life. Which is very sweet. But the reason behind it isn't all that pure, because Descale's parents, Hershel and Descale's parents, were killed by the organization Targent. And Descale wants revenge. That's why he's super into archaeology as well. The lead honcho of Targent, his name is Leon Bronev. Leon Bronev is their fucking father. What? Hello. Okay. Hold on. I have to stand for this. Anyways, they uncover the Azaran Legacy, but it's truly just a test of, how pure and good humanity is, and Leon Bronev was like, I dedicated my life to this, my wife is dead, and I abandoned my children, I have to get this no matter what. So, the final key to unlocking the Azaran Legacy was killing Aurora, and throughout the game, everybody has, bonded with Aurora, so it's not like they're just killing an NPC, she's been a part of your party the entire time. So Bronev takes the knife, stabs her with it, and they're the Azaran are oh my god, you fucking failed the test, we're going to eradicate humanity now. And it's... this is fucking insane in hindsight. So it sends out a bunch of robots. The Azaran have these robots, and then sends out a bunch of robots, and it starts fucking up the nearby area. And the only way to stop it is to block these beams of light that are powering it. And the only way to block the beams of light are with your body. And unfortunately that will kill you. And good, honest people that the professor's party are, they all step in front of the light. So it's the professor, Emmy, Luke. Luke is 10! Luke is 10, mind you. Descale, and then Aurora was going to go stand in front of it, but the twist is she's actually an Azaran golem as well. She was never a real person. She was also a golem. So she actually can't step into the light. It's some fucking magic shit. So Bronev, in like some attempt at redemption, stands in front of the light. They all block it, and all the golems like fucking die. And so does literally everybody, bro. Everybody's dead. Like, they die. What? Like. Okay. And then, because this is the sequel trilogy, like, after Azran Legacy is Curious Village, the games continue, the professor's alive. So Aurora, she prays to the Azran, and she's like, these people just sacrificed their lives to save humanity. Humanity isn't all that bad. Like, please let them live. And then they're fucking alive again. Okay. Yeah. And then Emmy fucks off because she's like, oh, I betrayed you, I can't be your assistant anymore. Fucking Descalay fucks off. I don't know what he's doing, because he doesn't show up anymore afterwards. And Bronev gets arrested because he's a bad person. And then the end of the game is the beginning cutscene of Curious Village. Curious Village onwards is not super important to what I'm going to talk about regarding the Professor's moveset and his DLC pack. However, I am going to touch on first, in Curious Village, the Professor and Luke rescue this girl named Flora. Flora does not get any, like, screen time at all after the fact. After Curious Village, the Diabolical Box, Unknown Future. Unknown Future is the final game chronologically, canon-wise, and it's a little bit important, so I'm going to talk about it. So, in Unknown Future, Layton is once again forced to confront his past. So, in Miracle Mask, he confronted his teen years. In Unknown Future, he is confronting his college years. He had a girlfriend in his college years named Claire Foley. Claire was this, like, quantum... No, that's not quite right. Like, physicist, scientist. She was studying time travel. And he lost her in a tragic accident one day when they were testing a time machine. The time machine blew up and it killed her. She was the test subject. And Unknown Future takes place, I think, 10 years after she dies. And the professor meets her again. Ooh, I wonder what happened. It's not like she was experimenting with time travel. This game is also low-key fucking crazy, so also buckle the fuck in. So the main villain, his name is Clive, wants to take revenge on a London that wronged him. Okay? So what he does is he builds a fucking replica of London underground, right? As like a cover for building another giant mag. Yo! You are not Descalay, my brother in Christ. Anyways, at the end of Unknown Future, Claire reveals, oh yeah, I went back in time, or I went forward in time, so... And she's like, I know I die. It's sad. And she's starting to, like, destabilize, think, like, Spider-Verse type shit. She's not supposed to be in that time. So, and the professor's like, oh, I don't want to lose you again, and all that. And it's really sad. And then she fucking disappears. She goes back in time to when she dies. It's really sad, actually. It's a really sad love story. And at the end, not only does he lose the love of his life, Luke is being sent fucking abroad to America to go to high school, to, like, go to school. I don't know. So he also loses Luke, and now he's alone again after fucking Unknown Future. What the fuck, bro? I'm sad. I'm depressed. But that is the entirety of the Layton series chronologically. After Unknown Future, a game came out called Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. It's the crossover. I fucking love Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright. It's not canon though, but it's a really, really good Layton game. It's a really, really good Phoenix Wright game. Highly, highly recommend if you like either. Don't let my unhinged recap of the core Layton series scare you. I genuinely do love these games and these stories with, like, all of my heart. They built up most of my childhood. They're the reason why I'm not an evil bitch. Most of the time. He taught me manners. He taught me to be polite. He taught me to be a gentleman. He is one of my favorite characters in all of media ever. And the new game, New World of Steam, is hopefully coming out this year. It was announced 3 years ago when I started college. I have since graduated. It's been a wild ride. If you're here for the Smash content and you haven't tried Professor Layton, emulation exists. The new one's coming out on Steam. Ooh, you didn't hear it from me though. Okay, if you skipped ahead, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know that's important towards my thought process behind making the Professor's moveset. If you're here from Literally just the previous section. Thank you so much for sitting through me rambling. I love you. I love Professor Layton. So, who is the professor? He is an archaeology professor at Gressonhill University. His name is Hershel Layton, and he is an English gentleman with an exceptional talent for solving puzzles and mysteries. The professor and his apprentice, Luke Triton, were based off of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson, but obviously in a more lighthearted way. The most important things that you need to know about our dearly beloved professor are that he's an archaeology professor, specifically. He did fencing in high school, and he has since continued to keep his skills polished, though you never see it. You only see it when he's actually fighting. He has technically 3 companions, though he only ever has 2 at a time. Luke Triton is a constant throughout all of his series. He's the John Watson to the Sherlock Holmes. Emmy Altava, who is only present from Last Spectre to Azran Legacy. And Flora Reinhold, who is present in Curious Village, Diabolical Box, Unwound Future, and she does appear briefly in Eternal Diva, but I believe only as, like, a cameo. He has a daughter, Catriel Layton. She has a game, Layton's Mystery Journey of the Millionaires, Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy, and she also has an anime. I would watch the anime, but it never got dubbed, and I liked watching my animes dubbed. Do not kill me! He has a brother, spoiler alert, Jean d'Escalay is his brother, and his closest friends are, well, at least in high school, were Randall Ascot and his girlfriend Angela Lador. So he, I fear, was a third wheel. And he's a certified tea lover, as all English gentlemen are. Now let's get into... Okay. Oftentimes, when there's a new character being added to Smash, there's a Mr. Sakurai Presents video that comes out along with it. And I'm going to be structuring this video similarly to a Sakurai Presents one, starting with... It's fucking serious. I take this seriously. Like, you thought, oh, what if this character is in Smash? What's his moveset? Yeah! But also, what Mii costumes would he have? What's his stage? What's his music? What spirits? Yeah! You didn't think about that, did you? We're committing to the full DLC pack. We are making a full Challengers pack. Like, if you buy the character on the eShop, you get, like, everything with it, you know? Like, to start this section off, I just want to mention that all the Mii costumes are of level 5 properties, because when I was going back and doing research, a majority of the costumes tended to be under the same company as the fighters, but also some weren't, and, like, I don't know, like, what goes on behind the scenes, so just for, like, continuity's sake, and just for fun, I decided to stick with level 5 properties. The Yokai Watch collab would be, obviously, the Pikachu of Yokai Watch, Jibanyan! Jibanyan is that little orange cat motherfucker. I played Yokai Watch, like, over 10 years ago, I don't remember anything about it. But he would be turned into a hat, like, his mouth is, like, grabbing onto your head, and any Mii fighter can wear it. So for this one, we're going with the original Fantasy Life as opposed to the Growth of Steel's Time, because, as I mentioned before, I originally wrote this during, like, the COVID era, so Growth of Steel's Time, I don't even think it would have been in development, I don't know. And also, even though I have over 40 hours in Fantasy Life, I don't know who I would put in this slot except for the titular girl who's... Okay, actually... So, originally I had Yulia and Noelia here, but I just realized I could also add Rem from The Girl Who Steals Time in here. They would be costumes for the Mii Gunner specifically, because, you know, the Mii Gunner, like, shoots shit out of their hands, and they don't have a gun, so it would look like magic coming out of their hands. Okay, now we're getting to the territory where I haven't played any of these level 5 properties, so don't kill me. I don't know anything about Inazuma 11. I didn't know that Inazuma 11 was under level 5 until I was doing research for this video 6 years ago. So I don't know, all I know is it's soccer, you know, physical sport, brawler. Bam! Inamori Asuto, or Sunny Wright, or I don't know, whatever the fucking wiki says his name is. I'm back on the floor. I've never played Ni no Kuni. It is on my wish list though, so I do want to play it. It is very fantasy-esque. I like fantasy things. I made him a sword fighter. The gunner slot was taken. He can whack people with his wand. I don't know, his staff. Just let him whack people. He's a kid. Let him whack people. Okay. Now what you clicked onto this video for. A true gentleman never backs down from a fight, and Professor Hershel Layton is no exception. So let's start with... Yes, I made him an anime sword fighter, but I promise I won't make him boring. You have my word. I'm... there. I promise. I will do my best to not rely too much on the sword. Kind of like how, you know how Ganondorf has a giant sword and Robin has like the tiny sword, but it's not their whole moveset? I tried to not make his whole moveset the sword. Okay? Okay. Glad we've come to an understanding. Also, I'm not a game dev in any sense of the word. I graduated from animation. I don't know anything about game balancing either. All I know is how if a game feels good to play and it's fun to play, that's all I give a shit about. So if stuff doesn't look balanced, it's because it probably isn't, because I don't know how to make them balanced. But I tried. I tried just based off of vibes, okay? Okay. So his forward smash, I've called Akbadine Stab. It's called Akbadine Stab because it's similar to what Hershel and Randall did in the Akbadine Ruins. It does more damage on the tip than it does on the blade. Similar to Martha and Lucina's, I believe, their neutral special. So the professor teams up with Emmy, they stand back to back, like Randall, and then they stab forward. So they can charge it, and then they can stab. They're using a fencing type blade, that's why it does more damage on the tip. The up smash, I've called Parrot Witness. I took it straight from the crossover game. I told you it's my favorite game. Does 8% damage. It's Luke who takes over for this, and he throws a bird straight up. That's pretty much it. The bird's name is Cracker, by the way, if you were curious. The down smash, I've called Descalay Repellent just for fun. It has a bigger hitbox in front than it does behind. It does 10% in the front, it does 6% in the back. He crouches low, holds his hat, and slashes around him. He spins around, but the arc is wider in the front than it is on the back. His dash attack is called Fencing Flurry. It does 3% per hit, but it does multiple hits. How many? I don't know. I didn't write that down. I can't be bothered to write it down. I don't know. Think like fucking... I don't know. Think like Meta Knight's neutral. Yeah. You know? Something like that, but he's running. Pulls out his sword. He just swipes. That's it. His neutral attack, if you stand there, you just spam A. He pulls out his fencing sword, and he just bam, bam, bam. Like multiple times, like an actual fencer, right? Because he did fencing. It does 3.6 damage per hit, and he just, keeps going until, like, the enemy gets out of it, DIs out of it, whatever. Has low range, because it would be kind of unfair if it had further range. Okay. Tilt attacks! With every attack, it plays the hint coin noise, because his tilt attacks are all hint coins. I believe they were established to be canon in one of the games, so that's why, hint coin! That's why they're here as a part of his moveset. Okay, actual tilts. Forward tilt, it's called Raining Hints, does 6%. He sweeps his hand in front of him, and he like throws like a hidden coin out. Woo! Like that. Damn, that's it. His up tilt, it's called Coin Toss, you get a coin. I have my wallet here, but my coins are in there, but flick the coin up, and it does damage. It's the coin that does damage. And then down tilt, he goes down, and then he grabs a coin off the ground, and like the damage is from him doing that. And they all do like pretty low. The forward tilt does 6%, the up tilt does 2%, and the down tilt does 3%. Alright, now we're on to the exciting stuff. His special attacks. These are like specific to the professor, so I'm very excited about these. His neutral special is the kind that you can charge, kind of like Samus's like ball, Lucario's ball, Wii Fit Trainer's ball. Like, why do they all have balls actually? Can anyone charge a gun? But anyways, the professor gets to charge a gun. It's a gun made out of a slot machine. It shows up in Unwound Future. It does 1.3% per hit, so you can charge it up. Actually, you know what? Let me just read exactly what I've written. The professor pulls out the iconic casino gun. Pressing B causes the gun to charge as Luke pours buckets of coins into the barrel, and pressing B again will cause the cannon to fire. The charge can be held when interrupted by shielding, or when fully charged, like Samus, Mii Gunner, etc. The charge time directly affects the damage and length of the move. If fully charged, the move lasts 5 seconds. The cannon shoots out coins at a similar consistency to Meowth's Payday. It doesn't have that much knockback, so if you get caught in it, you can't really get out of it until the move's done, pretty much. His forward special is the Layton Mobile. It's like Bowser Jr.'s forward special as well, where his clown car gets wheels and he fucking dashes forward, or kind of like Jigglypuff's rollout, but you don't have to charge it, you just get straight into it. So the professor hops in his Layton Mobile and travels forward a set distance, damaging anyone in his path. Oh, it's also kind of like Minecraft Steve's minecart. The move can be interrupted by jumping, and if the move is used midair / off stage, jumping doesn't consume his double jump, so he can use it as a recovery option as well. Okay, up special, recovery. It is a glider. He has made a glider twice. If I had a nickel for every time he has made a glider in his games, once in Curious Village and once in Azure and Legacy. It does 13% on the front, and he glides in a direction, the input direction, usually I'm assuming angled towards the stage. The glider that he pulls out, it's either going to be the sick as fuck dragon one, or sorry, dinosaur, the skeleton one that he made in Azure and Legacy, I believe, or the boring ass one that he made in Curious Village. It'll be one of the two, it doesn't really matter. It's just a cosmetic thing. I thought would be fun if it just switches out at random. Finally, his down special. Full disclosure, I almost made his down special a counter because I couldn't think of anything to put here. But in the interest of not perpetuating anime sword fighter stereotypes, I didn't make it a counter. So it's called Assistant and Apprentice. Emmy appears behind the professor and Luke appears between the adults. All three wind up attacks. Emmy delivers a solid roundhouse kick. Luke throws a flurry of birds, and Layton points ahead, dealing damage directly in front of him. Kind of like the objection bubble, like just straight in front of him. Each deals different damage and knockback. So Layton has average knockback, average damage. Emmy has low knockback, high damage, and Luke has high knockback but low damage. It has a very slow build-up because it does cover everything. So if you get caught, kind of like Amir, Byleth Amir, but there's also no super armor because I think that's kind of unfair. Layton does 15% damage. Luke does 2.5 per hit because he sends out multiple birds, and Emmy does 25 because that's my girl boss. And also, have you seen her kick that guy in Eternal Diva? Dude, she's fucking crazy. Okay. Aerials. Aerials were really hard for me. I couldn't think of anything, so I kind of got a little bit lazy here. His neutral air is just the sword. It comes out, it does 7%. He spins around, weapon outstretched, in front, in back, kind of like Lucina's, I believe, neutral air. Oh, sorry, it's like Link's. Editor May here. It is not like Link's. It's not like Link's at all. It's actually exactly like Lucina's. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. It's exactly like Lucina's. Don't listen to me. Forward air. I low-key stole Sephiroth's because if I had a nickel for every time the professor saved himself by stabbing the sword into the side of a wall, I would have 2 nickels. Once in the Eternal Diva movie and once in the Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright game. It does 4%. He just, and if there's a wall there, he stabs into it. And he can hold there and he regains his double jump type shit. Or he recovers a jump, sorry. His up air is a double kick. I did not steal this from Inkling. I repeat, I did not steal this from Inkling. It does 6% per hit. Again, did not steal this from Inkling. That's it. I couldn't think of anything to do for his up air. His down air, I also just straight up stole from like every other fucking character with a down air. It's a spike. He deserves a spike. I like spiking in Smash. He deserves a spike. So, Hi, I'm on the floor again. Okay, his grabs and his throws. So his grab is a ranged grab. Luke will like dash forward and grab anybody in front. Range, I don't know. It's got range. I did have the idea where if you grabbed in the air and you threw Luke at like the edge of the stage, it could be like an ice climber sort of deal. I don't think Like, I don't think that should happen. I just think it's a funny idea. I did have that idea. I did get scrapped because I did give him the Sephiroth stab. But that was just an idea. But yes, Luke goes out. He does like the kid thing of like grabbing their like the adult's legs and then pulls them back to the professor. So that's a grab. The pummel is this feels very out of character for the professor. I don't know why I wrote this 6 years ago, but he like knees him. Like every other anime sword fighter, I fear. And then his throws, these are actually kind of fun. Forward throw is Luke, so the professor tosses the enemy up, Luke appears from behind, he has his notebook, and he, like, baseball hits something forward. It does 4.7%. The back throw is Emmy, so the professor also throws the enemy up, Emmy appears in front, and also does another kick to send them back. Luke's throw does more damage than does knockback. Emmy's throw does more knockback than it does more damage. So back throw, once again, strikes again as the most reliable way to kill on the edge of the stage. The up throw is he just throws them up, and the down throw is a spike throw, so just, you know, and it has the spike VFX. Up throw does 7.3, down throw does 6%. So there's 3 more attacks. I just put them under miscellaneous attack. They're all just the floor get-up attacks. You're lying on the floor. There's 3 different options you have for getting up. You can tilt forward, so you'll attack in front. You can tilt backward, you'll attack behind. And if you just press A, I think you do both. They're all the same. They all are just the sword. Swipe forward, swipe behind, swipe both. The forward and behind ones do 8%, but if you do the spinning one, it's 6%. Because it covers more ground, so it should do less damage. And it's the same for when he comes up, he just swipes as he comes up. Okay, the best part, I keep saying this, but I think this one might be the best part. His final smash. So his final smash is an area in front of him. Think Isabel's final smash. He points, it has the little, like, anime bubble, and anyone caught in it is taken to the final smash screen. So the professor is shown deducing a puzzle before being given a dramatic, swooping cutscene of him pointing his finger straight ahead. The final smash directly affects multiple opponents in front of him, Isabel, Byleth, Young Link, and can reliably kill from over 35% from the center stage. The setting that the professor's standing in can vary. It can be like the Lane Detective Agency from Catriel's games, or the university, or his office. But think, in terms of visuals, something kind of like Joker's with the silhouette. When he points, it's the silhouette, and when he's like deducing the puzzle, I kind of stole that straight from Eternal Diva, from this scene. I think it's fun. We can't forget about his taunts. I love spamming taunts when I am playing Isabel, especially after I get a kill. I do the little wave. I'm a little gremlin. His up taunt is called No Time for Puzzles. He pulls out a notebook. He kind of goes like, this reminds me of a puzzle. And then he writes down something, and then he puts the notebook away. Because the whole running gag is, oh, this reminds me of a puzzle. And then Luke will be like, do we have the time for puzzles right now, Professor? So I thought that's fun. The side taunt is... like, what else would it be? What else would it be? Be honest with me. And his down taunt is called Tea Time. Luke appears and hands the professor a cup of tea, who takes a sip, and he hands it back to Luke. And Luke disappears. It's kind of like how Morgana appears with Joker's taunt. He just appears, and then he fucks up, you know? A few more miscellaneous animations. His idle pose. If you just leave him standing there for long enough, he'll pull out a little artifact. I'm thinking either like dinosaur skull or one of the eggs from the Azran Legacy game. Could be either, could be randomized, who knows. And then he, you know, looks at it and then he puts it away. Another one is he'll dust himself off, you know, must remain clean as a gentleman. And the final one is he'll straighten his hat as it goes. If he's hanging off the edge, he will hang onto it with one hand and hold onto his hat with the other hand. And then if he's standing on the edge, you know, he just kind of as everybody else does, you know, wobbles and all that. Of course, he's still holding onto his hat. For his stage appearance, he will fly in on the Layton mobile with Emmy and Luke. He'll get out of the Layton mobile, and then the Layton mobile will fly away. For his victory poses, these are also pretty fun. For the first one, it's just a group shot of him, Luke, and Emmy. You know, gotta show the whole gang. We are a team. No I in team. The second one is, what else would it be? What else would it be? And the third one, is I ripped straight from Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright again. You would never guess what my favorite Professor Layton game is. But Luke will throw the professor a sword, the camera follows the sword, all the way to the professor, who grabs it and then brandishes it. Those are all his victory poses. The music that plays is the iconic, well, actually his whole theme is iconic, but that one violin riff, I will play it. Alternate costumes. Costume number 1. You'd never guess. It's the professor. Wow. Costume number 2. It's the professor but in Luke's colors. Luke's in Emmy's colors. Emmy's in the professor's colors. Wow. Costume number 3. The professor's in Emmy's colors. Emmy's in Luke's colors. Luke's in the professor's colors. Riveting. Riveting stuff. Costume number 4. Flora. Flora gets the whole gang colored after her because she doesn't show up in the game. I'm sorry, I had to keep it on theme of Flora never being in anything. Sorry, Flora. Costume number 5, the masked gentleman. He's got the top hat. He's got the cape. I thought it would fit, like, hitbox wise. It's fine. And the masked gentleman's pretty cool. He's wearing fucking the mask that's important in the game. Emmy would have Angela's colors. Luke would have Henry's colors. Costume number 6, Evil Layton from Unknown Future. Emmy would have fuck-ass Prime Minister's colors. I don't remember his name. And Luke, honestly, his colors don't really change because his color scheme is for future Luke or Clive, but it would be a little bit darker. Costume number 7, Descalay, the goat. I love Descalay. Emmy would have his alter ego's colors of Desmond Sycamore, and Luke would have the butler's colors. Costume number 8, young Hershel. The fro will make up for the hat space, I think, personally. And instead of having Luke and Emmy, he will have Randall and Angela. I think that's cute. I think it's cute. Okay, classic mode. This is something you didn't think I would have remembered. You underestimate me. Classic mode is that story mode that comes with like every character. Every character has a classic mode attached to them. So the professor's classic mode is called A Gentleman's Way of Fighting. And all the characters that you fight are characters that don't like traditionally fight. You know, a true gentleman would never actually instigate fights. True gentlemen finish them though. The music I'll get into later because I'm going to show you the list of songs that I want to include within the CLC pack. But all the songs are going to be Professor Layton songs. So yes, first, We Fit Trainer on Tomodachi Life. Second is Kirby on New Pork City, the Omega form, because can you imagine? I'm not going to torture people by fighting on classic New Pork City. I understand. Inkling, you fight in Town and City. Steve, you fight on Skyloft. Isabel and Villager, you fight at Prism Tower. And then for the penultimate boss, you fight Professor Layton in his Jean Descalay skin on the Professor Layton stage. And then for the boss, there's only set bosses that you can pick for the final one. I picked the Dracula boss because a lot of people's favorite games in the Professor Layton series is Diabolical Box, and the whole thing in that is like, oh, this guy's a vampire. And it has the aesthetic of, well, it doesn't have the aesthetic of Castlevania, because Castlevania is very dark and gritty, but it does have that like gothic vampire-y vibe. Like the main character, the main like antagonist is a vampire. So I thought that was fitting. Okay, the Professor Layton stage. Here we go. So the stage I picked is the Bostonius. The Bostonius is a ship featured in Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy. So this ship, it flies through various locations, similar to how Skyloft does, to how Prism Tower does, to how the Sunshine. What the fuck is the island in Sunshine called? But the Mario Sunshine one as well. So it flies through different areas. Isle Delfino? Yeah. I don't think that's what the stage is called, but Isle Delfino. Flies through different areas, and then it'll stop in locations similar to all of those. The locations it'll stop in, I will tell you right now, are Monte d'Or, Ambrosia, the Golden Garden, and Saint Mystere. So they're all from mainland games. So when the Bostonians stop in these locations, the side doors will open up and allow for killing offstage on the sides. While the ship is flying, the doors close, and the only way that you can kill people is by shooting them up, or you can break down the walls. It's kind of like, I think, Terry's stage that came with his DLC pack, and also, I don't remember the name of it, but the Metal Gear Solid stage where you can break down the walls. It's similar to that, so you can break down the walls and then, like, while the ship is flying, and then if the walls are broken, it will regenerate the next time it lands and then takes off. Yeah, it's one of those flying stages, lands, comes back, type thing. The Omega or Battlefield versions of the stage, which just flies through and it doesn't land, it will just be the bottom side of the Bostonius, and it will be a platform hanging from underneath it, so you can still see the ship itself. Okay, music! The Professor Layton series is known not just for, like, obviously it's puzzles and gameplay, but it has really striking art, and also included in the art is the music. Some of the music is the best that I've heard in video games. If you like Expedition 33 soundtrack, specifically the songs that play in Lumiere, you will like the Professor Layton soundtrack. I promise you. So in terms of the number of songs, I decided to add 14, which is about the median of songs that were added with DLC fighters. Not the average, because the average would have been screwed, because Kazuya added 39 and Terry added 50 songs. So I went about the median. I went a little bit more because there's so many good songs in the Layton's franchise. I just wanted to highlight them. Okay, I really like Layton, okay? So the first song, I will go through them one by one. I'll try not to take too long. First song is obviously the Professor Layton's theme, live version. Doesn't really matter which game you rip it from. I think that the crossover one with Phoenix Wright, that one sounds really, really good. It sounds like richer, or like fuller, I guess, because, I don't know, it was recorded like a long time after it was originally composed, so I guess they kind of got it down. But you can just rip it from Curious Village, that's the most iconic one. It's also, like, because it's a shared IP with Ace Attorney, we kind of have to get Capcom's okay, but, you know, maybe they'd be okay with it. The second song is Jean Descalais' theme. He's literally a skin for the Professor. We have to add that. It's obviously the live version as well. The live versions of the songs are just better. We'll rip it from Last Spectre. That's where he was first introduced. The third song is London 3. It will be a remix. Vanilla London 3 is too calm of a song to be fighting to. I don't know, I don't think even I think London 3 is a little, like, I will fall asleep listening to London 3. So it'll be remix. London 3 originally came from Unknown Future. How would I remix it? I wouldn't. Do I look like a sound designer? Do I look like a DJ? No. I draw, bro. I draw. That's all I can do. The fourth song will be the song The Professor's Deductions. It originally showed up in Unknown Future. It does show up again in, the Ace Attorney crossover. I think it sounds better in the Ace Attorney crossover because that game came out, I think, 2014. So it is like the last game in the mainline Layton series, so all the songs sound a lot fuller, or they've kind of found their sound. I wouldn't be opposed to a remix of The Professor's Deductions, but, like, vanilla sounds just fine. The next song will be the theme of the last battle from Last Spectre. Again, it's also a great song, vanilla. It's literally like a boss fight theme, so it already is fine. But, like, if I could get a remix of it, that would be pretty cool. The next song is Pursuit from Miracle Mask. The song plays when you're literally doing a horse chase, chasing down the masked gentleman. When I first heard this song, my third eye opened as a child. It was crazy. I love this song. It's really good. The next song is Airship Chase from Azran Legacy, where, as in the song title, you are in an airship chasing other airships. Again, when I heard this song as a child, it opened my fourth eye. The next song is from the movie. It's called The Song of the Sun. The Song of the Sun vanilla is not one I would fight to, so this will also be a remix. I believe someone on YouTube does have a remix of it. If they do, I will be playing it in the background. If they don't, you'll just be hearing the vanilla Song of the Sun. The next song is Theme of the Last Time Travel. It will be a remix because this song is sad. I am not fighting in Smash to a sad song. Theme of the Last Time Travel is the song that plays when Claire dies at the end of the game, when she goes back to her original timeline to die. So this one will be a remix. It is an important song to the professor's character, so I had to add it. The next song will be Puzzle Battle. This one will be a remix. The original is upbeat enough, but she could use an orchestra, lifting her up. She sounds good, but she could sound better. It originally came from Unknown Future, when I believe Clive is like, I don't think you're the real professor. And then he battles you in puzzles. The next song will be Monte d'Or, City of Miracles. This one will be a remix. The vanilla is okay. But why not ask for more and see what I can get? The next song will be Akbadine Breakthrough. This one's okay vanilla. I don't need a remix of this one. Also from Miracle Mask. The next song will be Sangrio, Island of Happiness. This one will be a remix because it's kind of a chilled out vibe. Again, we could have it vanilla, but I picked Sangrio from Azran Legacy because it's a song that shows up a lot in those chilled out Nintendo music compilations that I used to listen to a lot, and so I figured more people recognize it as well, and I was like, I need some Azran Legacy representation in here. Next song, Surely Someday. We can't have Professor Layton soundtrack without mentioning Surely Someday. Surely Someday is a vocal track. It will be a remix because it is sad as hell. It made me cry. It can make me cry again today. So this one would be a remix. It's like Lost in Thoughts All Alone. That's what Surely Someday is to the Professor Layton franchise. Remix of this, please. I do not want to fight to the sad song. Thank you. And the final song will be a mainline games medley of all of their, all the main themes of each game, because they do, in fact, all have different main themes. It would be Curious Village, Pandora's Box, Unknown Future, Last Spectrum, Miracle Mask, and Azran Legacy. If I were to ask for a little bit extra, I would throw in the Ace Attorney crossover main theme because that theme is also so freaking good. I would ask for that to be included in the medley. But if I can't get it, I'd be happy. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'd be happy enough to get Layton and Smash. Oh. Okay, chat, we're almost done. You thought that was the end? No. No. No, the next part is huge, but it's the last. Okay, because Sakurai doesn't usually talk about this in his Sakurai Presents videos. But for the sake of being thorough, and because I love the professor, we're gonna talk about his spirits. Okay, so I didn't talk about this in the basics of Smash. If you play Smash, there's also a chance that you don't know what spirits are. So spirits are, it's kind of a gear you can equip to your characters in the story mode to help them fight enemies in the story mode. So you have slots for primary spirits, 1 slot for a primary spirit, and then 3 slots for secondary spirits, and they can have different abilities and stuff. So okay, let's get into it. Primary spirits, here we go. First one. Yeah. Yeah, like he's, you know, he's literally skin already. Like, I gotta throw him in there. So, Descalay is the highest class primary spirit you can get. His ability is sword attack up because he's also proficient in swordplay. It's kind of like his whole thing with the professor. They always sword fight. Just makes sense. Next one, Luke. He is a 3-star spirit. His ability is speed up because he is small and he is fast. Have you seen that kid in Eternal Diva? Like, how does he live? Next, Emmy. She's also a 3-star spirit. Her buff would be foot attack up. I would put fist and foot attack up, but in my research I couldn't find any primary spirit that had fist and foot attack up. So if that's not an option, it would just be foot attack. She, you know, I've shown you the clips already. She's a martial arts master. She's crazy. She can fight. Oh, she can fight, girl. Next one is Flora. Obviously, I can't not include her because I already snubbed her as a skin. She's a 2-star spirit. Her ability is weight down. You know, she got saved in Kira's village by jumping out of a tower. So, this makes sense. Don Paolo is the next primary spirit. There's only one more after him. He is a 1-star spirit. His ability is battering items power. The vibe I just get from Don Paolo is, you know, like Wario, and Wario also gives me the vibe of like whacking the shit out of people. That's him. Don Paolo's like whole thing. I didn't really touch on him much earlier, but he's the primary villain in the original trilogy. He's more of like a goofball villain. He doesn't really do anything like evil, but his whole thing is like he's a master of disguise as well as Descalay. So the final primary spirit is his daughter, Catriel. She was originally going to be a skin for the professor, but I figured her game wasn't received super well. Her anime was okay. So I ended up cutting her as a skin and just keeping her as a spirit. She's a 1-star spirit. Her ability is jump up superstar. I don't remember the reasoning why I gave her jump. What happened in her game? I don't remember. Okay, primary spirits. Sorry, not primary spirit. Jesus Christ. Okay. Secondary spirits. There's a lot. There's a lot. So strap in. I'll try to be as fast as I can. If I can't remember the reasoning why I gave certain spirits abilities, you know, I'll just breeze past it. Okay, first one, 4-star Claire Foley. Ability, critical health stats up. Because she's literally on the verge of death the entire game. Masked Gentleman, 3 stars, unflinching charge smashes. This guy gets to be unflinching because he almost died. He literally fell from a high height and he could have been dead. Next, Aurora, 3 stars. She gets fog immunity. Fog immunity because, like, all of the Azran places that you visit in Azran Legacy are foggy, especially Lake Coda. It's foggy there, and there's a big Azran relic in the middle of the lake. Next, Inspector Grosky. He is a goofball police officer, I think, or detective. I think he's an officer. His whole thing is that he likes to stay fit. He gets impact run. There are literally scenes in the game where he's like, yo, I'll meet you across the fucking world, and he'll start running. So he gets impact run. Next, Janice Quatlane from the movie. She gets floaty jumps. She just reminds me of Peach. That's it. Next, Alfendi Layton. He is from the spin-off games, Layton Brothers Mystery Room. He's the professor's illegitimate son. I don't know. But he's here. I can't ignore him. Hi, I'm on the ground again. Alfendi gets irreversible controls because I said so. Next. Randall Ascot. Like the Masked Gentleman, right? Remember the Masked Gentleman? There's also Randall, but Randall's a child. You know what he gets? Landing lag down. Because he fell. Next. Oswald Whistler, he's from the movie. He is the guy that plays the organ. He's also a little bit evil. He was conspiring with Duskele the whole time, but that's because he is grieving his dead daughter who died from like cancer or something. He gets stamina up because he's sweaty a lot and he plays the organ a lot. I don't know why I gave him stamina up. Next, Granny Riddleton. She is a recurring character in the Layton series. If you forget to solve some puzzles because you got stumped or you just completely missed them because some of them are hidden, and then now you can't access those areas anymore, those puzzles will go to this character called Granny Riddleton. She gets, for that reason, item gravitation. Make sense? Good. Next, Leon Bronev, their father. Again, actually insane. He gets shooting attack because Targent is the only time that you see guns in the game. Next, Raymond. This is Duskele's butler. He gets shield durability up because he is Duskele's shield. Next, Inspector Chelmy. This guy is the detective. I remember now. He gets improved escape because there's one scene in, I think it's Diabolical Box, where Luke tries to rip his face off because in the game previous, Don Paolo was pretending to be Chelmy and wore like his face, so Luke was fully convinced that it was Don Paolo, but it wasn't. Anyways, Chelmy gets out of that, and that's why he gets improved escape. Dimitri Allen. This guy is the evil Professor Layton that I showed you for the skin. He was also in love with Claire Foley. He was in the lab when the lab exploded and killed Claire. The professor's girlfriend, his crush. For that reason, he gets fire and explosion attack up. Dean Delmona gets magic attack up. I honestly don't know why I gave Dean Delmona magic attack, because he is the dean of the university that the professor teaches at. That's it. That's all he does. So he gets to be magical. Next, Andrew Schrader. This is the professor's mentor. I believe he taught the professor in college and helped him get to where he is. He gets Hothead equipped. Next, Henry Lador. He gets undamaged speed. I don't know why. His fake wife, Angela Lador, gets trade-off speed. I also don't know why. Next, these two have asterisks next to them because they're from the crossover game. Espella Cantabella. She is the 3-star. She gets critical health healing because she almost got burned at the stake for being a witch. The next one is Eve Belduke. She's 2-star and she gets air defense because, spoiler alert for the crossover game, they were falling and then she almost died, but then she didn't because she's floating because they're witches. They're witches. But that's assuming Capcom lets the divorce baby, gives the divorce baby to level 5 temporarily, just so that they can be in Smash. They signed the permission slip. Okay, holy shit. I'm tired. My back hurts, and I've been talking for a long time. Straight. I didn't think I would do this all in one take. I've done it all in one take. There's a lot of Layton games on my floor and Zelda things on my desk as props, and now I'm tired. But that was my very professional presentation of how I would personally implement not just the professor, but a whole DLC pack dedicated to the professor into Smash. I know that we're never gonna get anything else for Smash Ultimate. Sakurai said that he's done with Ultimate, and I'm not sure if he said he was fully done with Smash. My sister's in denial. She wants another Smash game. She's getting back into playing Smash. We used to play a lot together, but I've kind of given up hope for Layton in Smash. But who knows? Who knows? Because I also gave up hope that I would ever get a new Professor Layton game in the future, because back in COVID, Level 5 actually shut down their North American offices. And I fully believed I was never getting anything Layton related again, but here we are. So, you know, being Delulu works sometimes. If you liked my video, if you liked hearing me rant, you know, hopefully I'll make more in the future. This has been May. This has been Meowth. Where's Meowth? Hold on. This has been May and Meowth coming to you from under my bed. You know, and hopefully I'll see you next time. My back hurts. Sorry, chat. This is serious. I look greasy on the camera now. And my lights are going dim. Can I turn on the light in my room? I'll do that.